Good morning, it is 7 a.m. on Sunday the 23rd of July, and if all goes according to plan, we will be moving into our new house in just 16 days, which is absolute madness. Obviously, I'm super excited, a little bit nervous for the moving day itself, but I thought I would take this opportunity to talk you through the journey that we've been on so far with selling this house, finding the new house, and everything in between, basically. Put the house on the market in March because we are shared ownership, and we found out that you had to give Settle, which is our leasehold company, 8 weeks to try and sell the property before you can put it on the open market, and that the likeliness of them selling it was actually pretty slim. As soon as I put the house on the market, obviously we started house hunting. Now, I get quite a bit of annual leave from work. I'm very lucky in that aspect, so me and Mike came to the agreement that I would do the first viewings on properties, and any that I loved and I thought that he would love, we'd take him back on the weekend, because obviously you can do second viewings on a weekend without an estate agent. So I booked a day off work. I viewed 5 properties. The first one I viewed was a 4-bed detached just south of Cambridge, huge property, and needed so much renovation work, and would have been perfect for me. It was already at the top end of our budget, and there'd been a bidding war starting on it, so I knew that there was no chance we could have had it. And then on to property number 2, 3 and 4, which when I went, they just weren't right. They didn't feel as big as they looked online, and you could tell the estate agents had done a good job with angles, making it look better than it was. So none of them wowed me at all. And by this point in the day, I think it was like 3:30, and I was just getting a bit like, oh, this isn't going to happen today. And then I went to the property that we're buying, which was the last property of the first day of house hunting. And as soon as I pulled up to the drive, I was like, okay, this drive is bigger than it looks in the photos. And so I knocked on the door, and the estate agent wasn't there yet, but the owner of the property was. And she was so lovely and so welcoming, and was like, come in, have a look around until the estate agent gets here. But basically, as soon as I walked in, I got that feeling that it was the one. Without even looking around, I just knew that this was going to be our forever home. I looked around, absolutely loved it. You'll see why when I show you. Told Mike it was amazing, and got him round to view it on the weekend, and he loved it just as much. He said he could see us living there, and that was it. So we spoke to the lady. She'd already told us that they'd rejected an offer because it was too low. And the house had been on the market since January with very little interest, because I'll be honest, the estate agents didn't do a good job of showing the potential with the property. So we put an offer in, and it was accepted, but subject to sale of ours. And so when I got home and I'd found this property, and I knew that I was meant to wait 8 weeks for Settle to be able to sell it on their shared ownership website, obviously I called them straight away and was like, I can't wait 8 weeks. We've fallen in love with this property. Can you do anything for us? And they said, we can drop it down to 4, but it's the lowest that we can do. So every week, without fail, I was calling the estate agent, asking if they had viewings, if they had other offers, what was going on with the property. And about a week before it broke out of the shared ownership 4-week threshold, they changed estate agents. And obviously I was terrified that we would lose the house at this point, because all I've seen is it's come off Rightmove. It's not on there for 24 hours. And I think, has it sold? But then I've gone into the sold subject to contract section, and it's not in there either. So I'm panicking, thinking they're not selling anymore. They've taken it off the market completely. And then the next day when I looked again, it was up, but just with the other estate agent. So I've called the estate agent straight away and was like, this is the situation. We love this house. We want this house. I'm begging you, please make sure you tell the owners this. The owners had already told the new estate agents and given them the heads up that we were like obsessed with this house. So as soon as the new estate agents went up with the new estate agents, they had so much better photos, and the property had viewings lined up really quickly after. So I told Settle, my housing association, that I wanted to break straight away, and they said, look, line up your estate agents, get it on the market next week. So I called Country Properties and a couple of others and got them round to evaluate. And in the end, Country Properties is who we went with. And the lady that came around was lovely. And as soon as she saw the property and took the photo, she was like, I think I know someone who would buy this property from you. Can you let them view it this weekend? And this was on a Thursday. So they brought this couple round on Saturday to view the property, and the couple said that they absolutely loved it. It was perfect and they wanted to buy the house. So my estate agent from Country Properties called me and said they're putting an offer in. You can call the owners of the new house on Monday and tell them you've sold your property. So obviously I pretty much screamed with excitement. I cried, and I called on the Monday and told them we've sold our property, let's get the ball rolling. So we got the sale of memorandum to send on to the new estate agents. On Thursday the same week, we got a call from the estate agent who knew the couple that she thought would love to buy a house and who had put an offer in. And they pulled out. They couldn't get the mortgage that they thought they could. They didn't have a mortgage in principle ready, and it left us without a buyer, knowing that we had just had our offer accepted on this new house. Now, we were going abroad on our honeymoon on Saturday, 2 days later, and the estate agent said, don't tell them, you know you're going away for 3 weeks, they know you're going away for 3 weeks, your property will probably sell within that 3 week period, and no one will be none the wiser because your solicitors won't start until you're back from holiday anyway. So I did exactly that. I waited, and the property went back onto the market the day after we went on honeymoon on the Sunday. And my dad was staying over my house for the duration of the 3 weeks to look after the dogs, to look after the house. Within a week, we'd had 4 viewings, 2 offers, and a potential offer. And obviously, they're emailing me, they're calling me. I got a call at 4 o'clock in the morning, our time, which was 9 a.m. back home because of the 5-hour time difference from the honeymoon, to say that an offer had been placed, did we want to accept it? And obviously, in my sleepy state, I was like, does this person actually have a mortgage? And they did. They'd already lost a house that they loved and was desperate to not lose another. So we accepted straight away. And that was it. Within a week of losing a buyer, we had another one and we were fine. Anyway, everything's gone through. We're due to exchange next week. All of the inquiries have been settled. People whose house we're buying have already moved out. So I'm making this video right now, my first YouTube video, technically before we've exchanged, hoping that by the time I put this out next week, we will have exchanged. And I'll be able to put that at the end of the video if we have. But in the meantime, I'm going to share some clips from the moment we found out that we got the house, me telling Mike, and prepping to move. So I hope you enjoy the next part of this video, and at the end will be whether we've exchanged or not next week, but the video will get published regardless as to whether we have or not. If you want to follow our journey, for the first time I'm going to say, like and subscribe to my channel. Enjoy. We got the house.
Did we actually?
Yeah, we got the house.
Did we actually?
Yeah. I knew from like 2 o'clock and I've been dying to tell you.
Why didn't you say anything? I even texted you saying any update on the house. You're like, not yet.
No, we got the house. I got a phone call. It's ours. They're taking it off the market.
Serious?
Yeah, we got the house. Oh. And so from the moment we got back from holiday, knowing the house had sold, it was full steam ahead for decluttering and organising and taking things to charity shops and getting Mike involved when it came to removing spiders from the shed. Our solicitors told us it should be 12 to 15 weeks until we were in the new house, so I could put away the winter clothes, knowing that it would be between August and September. Also knowing that I could then start taking shelves down, packing things away. All of the non-essentials went within the first few weeks, and we're now at the stage where 90% of the house has had holes filled, sanded, repainted back over to try and keep it as nice as possible for the new owners. I know it's a controversial subject and that not everyone does this for the new owners, but I personally would feel really bad if they walked into a house filled with lots of holes in the wall. But this is where we're up to so far. It has been 9 weeks of slowly packing and undecorating for the new owners to hopefully exchange on week 10. Okay, it is Wednesday the 26th of July. I have just handed some contracts in. It is T-minus 13 days until hopefully completion. So if the contracts get sorted quickly enough, we should hopefully exchange by the end of this week, which would be amazing. I have hired a van. If all goes through, we will pick it up on the Monday, the 7th. At 5:30 in the evening to load everything up the night before, just to make it a bit easier. Obviously it will stay on the drive overnight anyway, and then as soon as we get the go ahead, we'll drop keys off to the estate agents for our house that we are selling, pick keys up for the house that we're buying, move everything in frantically quickly, and then we need to just return the van and we're in, and that's it. I think we're done. We are, however, going to drop some bits off at my in-laws beforehand. Just some, you know, non-essentials like books, plants, winter clothes, things that we can collect at a later date. So hopefully next time you see my face at the end of this video, we'll have exchanged, and then hopefully the following video after that will be us in the new house. We've just exchanged. It is Friday. It's like 2:30, 3 o'clock-ish, and I just got the phone call. And we have exchanged in time for the weekend, which was what I wanted. I am so happy. What a way to end this video. We've exchanged and we're moving on the 8th of August.